According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse for Teens, every day in the United States, an average of 2,000 teenagers use a prescription drug without a doctor's guidance for the first time. In this speech, I will reveal to you the truth about prescription drug abuse. I will inform you about what prescription drug abuse is, the dangers it can lead to, and how the government is trying to prevent it. Now, let's take a look at what prescription drug abuse really is. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse for Teens, prescription drug abuse is when a person uses a medication in an inappropriate way, such as without a prescription, in a way other than prescribed, or for the high elicited. The WhiteHouse.gov says the prescription drug abuse is the nation's fastest growing drug problem. And this is true, because in the past 5 years, emergency room visits have doubled for painkiller abuse. And all these painkillers aren't cheap, because the Center for Disease Control and Prevention states that non-medical use of prescription painkillers have cost more than $72.5 billion in a year in direct health care costs. Now that's a lot of money. But what are the drugs that most people are abusing? Well, according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, the 3 most common drugs that are abused are opioids, which are used as painkillers, nervous system depressants, which are used to treat anxiety, and stimulants, which are used to treat ADHD. Now that you know a little bit more about what prescription drug abuse really is, let's look at the dangers it can cause. When you go to the doctor and to get a medication, the doctor considers all the things like your age, your weight, your height, and your medical history before giving you a drug. And this is because he does not want you to overdose. But when you take many drugs at one time, you can cause an overdose. Also, by taking many drugs at one time and combining them with others, you can have deadly combinations there because the drugs will react badly with each other. Also, taking drugs with alcohol can also have a bad effect and can be very deadly. But what are the effects of taking the 3 most common drugs? Well, the effects of abusing opioids can be slowed breathing. The effects of using depressants can lead to seizures, and the effects of abusing stimulants can lead to irregular heartbeats. Well, now that you know some of the dangers of taking prescription drugs and abusing them, let's look at what the government is doing to prevent them. The government created the 2011 Drug Prevention Plan, and this included 4 key points. The first point was education. They want to educate people about what drug abuse is and the dangers of it, and how we can get rid of medication so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. The second point is monitoring. By creating the Prescription Drug Monitoring Program, states will be able to share prescription drug abuse information with each other, making it easier to stop it. Next, the government wanted to work on proper disposal plans. By creating proper drug disposal plans, it'd make it easy and convenient for people to properly get rid of their old medications, so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands and become abused later on. And the last part of it would be enforcement. By improving law enforcement's tools, they can help stop this problem. The state of Nebraska is also getting involved in prescription drug abuse prevention. According to the City of Lincoln Police Department, last September, 818 pounds of prescription drugs were collected at 7 locations around Lincoln area during the Drug Take-Back event. And this is happening all over the country, and they're taking in lots and lots of prescriptions. Now that you know how the government is preventing it. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, overdoses of prescription painkillers have more than tripled in the past 20 years, killing more than 15,500 people in the United States in 2009. In this speech, I have told you about what prescription drug abuse is, the dangers it can lead to, and how the government is trying to prevent it. Prescription drug abuse is a major deal, and it can lead to serious problems.